A very beautiful evening, viewers. Welcome to the program. This is Spotlight with Chinaza on Kaftan Television here in Abuja, where we are reaching you from. And I am Chinaza Asibu. Now, Nigeria has witnessed a troubling surge in violence over the last 1 week, with coordinated attacks spreading fear across multiple states. In Kebbi State, about 25 girls have been abducted from the community of Maga. And in Kwara State, bandits have attacked a CAC church, killing 4 persons and abducting the rest. It didn't end there just while we thought we were about to get over it. In Niger State, less than 24 hours or less than 48 hours, over 100 students have been abducted by these same people. And now to Borno State, report has it that 4 vigilantes has been killed, 4 missing by the attack of ISWAP. Now the question that borders around all of this that is happening, what is the faith of the common Nigerian? What is the faith of the ordinary people? It's really been a long, sad week for every Nigeria, the people of Kebbi. Just when we thought we were about to get over one, another one breaks, and it's saddening. Everyone is afraid for their lives. People cannot move freely, and we are here again today to talk about it. I'll be joined by an analyst to help us make sense out of all of this after this short break. To stay with us. Welcome back from that break, and still spotlighting on insecurity. Highlights a deepening security crisis and the urgent need for coordinated action to protect citizens. And who are the citizens? Yourself, myself, your loved ones, every single human, every single Nigerian. No Nigerian is more important than the other. Every single Nigerian is a citizen. I'm being joined by Sanusi Ibrahim, who is a social justice critic. He joins me live in the studio to help us unpack all of this. It's a pleasure, and always a pleasure to have you in the studio. Thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome, Chinaza. Thank you.
Now, I don't know how I feel. Yeah. I can't words fail me at this point.
Yes.
So much has happened in the last 1 week. Yeah. While we think we are trying to get over one, another one is happening, and we are wondering, on the rising attack, what does this surge of attack across Kebbi, Kwara, Niger, and to even add that of Borno that has been reported, what is the current state of Nigeria's security architecture?
Well, the current state of the Nigerian security architecture is in total disarray. Because if you look at the consistency in the happenings of insecurity in the past 1 week in this country, you will understand a lot of work needs to be done. And 11 years ago, these Chibok girls were abducted. Some years later, some girls were still abducted in Dapchi. Here we are today, 11 years later, talking about another abduction of 25 schoolgirls and another 100 in Niger. That is to tell you that no precautionary measure has been taken by the federal government to make sure that the security of these schools is intact. None is taken. We just if something happens today and people forget it, that is how the government also forget it. And that is why the bandits, the criminals, the abductors, whatever it is you want to call them, they've seen that loophole in the security architecture of the country, and that's why they are always, attacking the schools. Because right now attacking schools is more like a business venture for them, because I'm sure you have seen they're demanding not for the school, but they're demanding, they will still demand for some money for the students that they abducted and these people. The reason why this abduction is taking place, they want to put us in total confusion. They want money, and they want to start claiming territorial rights all across the country. So it's something that the federal government needs to do something very important about before it's going to consume the entire nation. Nowhere is safe, Abuja inclusive, Chinaza.
So, but then, why is it always the school the school, the girls, it's always the school, innocent school children, and it's always the girls. Why?
Yes, because by default you say women are vulnerable creatures, so you know that taking away the females, it's much more easier for you than taking away the males. And secondly, these guys, when they come in to do this abduction, they have this ideology of molestation. So they are picking girls because they want to molest them. We've seen what happened with the Chibok girls. Most of them came back pregnant with sons and daughters. They go and keep these people, keep these girls in captivity, marry them, turn them into theirs, turn them into slaves, and change their mentality. So that is why. And also the reason is because once you go out there and pick the girl child, we all know how important women are in the society, in building the society, in the formation of a family. So that's why these people rather pick women, because they know the attention that would be given. I'm not saying men or the males are less important, but they know that when they go with women, females, it's going to spark more outrage. That is why you see it's consistent from Chibok to Dapchi to the Fugus girls, and then now this one in Kebbi.
No, this tends to pose a huge threat in our learning environment, especially in high-risk region. Or would you suggest an immediate closure of schools?
Yes,
at the moment. Yes,
I would suggest an immediate closure of schools, because if you look at how these attacks have been unfolding from one school to the other, we don't know the school they are going to next. So if the government knows that they cannot secure these schools, let these children go home to their parents where they are much more safer, because these parents are over there thinking they've sent their children to the boarding school with the security of the government. So now if you know you cannot handle the situation of security in these schools, let these children go home. Schools should shut down, let children go home until the government find a way to tackle these guys, because they are now hunting school students and there are more schools that they are going to go to. We know.
As much as that of Nasarawa was debunked, we in the course of the debunk, we also heard that there was an attempt.
Yes,
there was an attempt.
Yes, in Duma.
So now, talk to us about how you think this government have, or the governments before the government of the day, how have they responded to the issue of insecurity? Well,
I would say that the response have been poor, and I would always say, as far as insecurity in this country, there are state and non-state actors, and we have to say these things how it is. As a government, your basic responsibility is the protection of lives and property. So now, how are you going to go about that? It may interest you to know that the Nigerian military has a total personnel number of 230,000. That does not match the population of this country that is already skyrocketing to 250 million. Now, northern Nigeria has very, very porous borders. So by some analysis from security experts, they said that not less than 200,000 soldiers are needed to guard the borders, because one major problem we are having is the porous borders. These guys come into this country like their parlor and go back to their own countries like their room. I'm not saying that there are not Nigerians orchestrating these two, but then there are more foreigners in the line of causing this terror and mayhem on people. So the government have been very, very poor in addressing the issue of insecurity.
When you mean poor, I want to understand clearly, because when it comes to the aspect of funding, we've seen a reasonable amount of funds being allocated to the military. So when you say poor, do you mean that the military is overwhelmed, not funded enough, or how poor?
Okay, so this is it. The military is overwhelmed. Our current military size cannot match the level of insecurity in this country, because 230,000 is not enough to match the level of insecurity in the country. That is one. Two, arms and ammunitions. Let me tell you something. The bandits, there is a particular rifle called the PKT. The PKT is not so much in the Nigerian army armory inventory, but you're going to see bandits with several PKT ammunitions shooting. As a matter of fact, 1 or 2 or 3 of the bandits that went for that peace negotiation, they were seen with PKTs. So that's to tell you that the armory that the Nigerian military have is not even matching what these guys are having. So the government needs to do something about it, and we've seen situations whereby money for arms and ammunitions are given and some people siphon it. This is the country that we are living in. We're having leaders and people that do not care about the common man. They care about their pockets. Tell me how a sane individual is going to have money. They will be given money to buy arms and ammunition that you are going to use in protecting your own country, and you divert it and siphon it. So there are no checks and balances. There has to be a complete overhaul in the Nigerian military, the armory, the number of personnel, and also our secret services too. They need to do better. So that is why it is extremely poor how the government and the Nigerian government is handling this issue of insecurity.
Now, there is one question on the lips of every Nigerian.
Yes.
On how these terrorists are able to get armed. How are they able to get armed? Now, looking at the audacity, they've got so much audacity that they will even, abduct these people, apprehend them, make a video of them, and post on the social media. There is a question on whether or not it is being politically motivated or not. Yeah. So, do you have an answer to how these bandits how do they get arms? Okay, you see, there was something you said in your statement. You said the audacity. The highest level of audacity is picking a brigadier general and killing a brigadier general and send the pictures to the Nigerian populace to see. There is no audacity that is going to overrun that audacity, and that is to tell you how these people do not even care. Welcome to Nigeria, where before Boko Haram or ISWAP attacked a military formation, they told the military formation that they are coming in the next 3 hours, and they went in the next 3 hours and they did what they want to do. That is the audacity that they have. As far as their arms, there is no way you are going to tell me that there is no external factors in funding them and also giving them arms. That is why you are going to see ISWAP and Boko Haram claiming allegiance to the likes of ISIS and Al-Qaeda. So that's to tell you, and this brings us back to what I said earlier when I said we have extremely porous borders, and it's through these borders that these people ship in their arms and ammunition, because nobody look at the border. Nothing is being done about the porous border. So there is international hands in giving them arms, giving them ammunition, giving them funding. From who exactly?
I wouldn't know, but just like I told you, ISIS are claiming, ISWAP is claiming allegiance with ISIS, and it's true. So ISIS alone can fund these people. Yes, and we have videos in several places where we see videos of ammunition being offloaded from an aircraft in the middle of a bush we don't even know. There was something that happened, a military MRAP was attacked, and then it got hooked. Was it in Zamfara? And the soldiers had no option than to leave it there, and the Bello Turji and his boys went and looted the entire MRAP, which was carrying a lot of armories. So that's another way that they usually, get weapons. That is it.
Now, let's take our attention a bit to Kwara State.
Okay.
The bandits who attacked the CAC church in Kwara
are
demanding for 3 billion naira. How realistic is that?
Very unrealistic.
So what's the fate of those individuals?
That's the $1 million question that I can't answer, neither can you, because the bandits abducted 38 people and they're demanding 100 million ransom per person. So 100 million times 38, that is what amounted to the 3.8 billion naira. So tell me how feasible it is to cough out
such money.
No, Nigeria is not going to cover such money and give bandits.
What does it feel like to negotiate with bandits?
That is it. It feels very terrible to negotiate with bandits. How dare you negotiate with bandits? Bandits are not individuals that you're supposed to negotiate with. Between you and the bandits is action. Between you and the bandits is crushing by the Nigerian military. So where on earth, how are they going to see us as a sane people that we go and sit with the bandits? You see a local government chairman that was duly elected by people, members of the House of Assembly, you see them seated in the same place with the bandits that have been ravaging their societies and their communities. Is this not insane for a people to even understand? Where is it? How can you negotiate with these people? And that is why, have you ever seen a negotiation that was done and then the bandits that came for the negotiation left with the arms and ammunition that they came for the negotiation with? That is not a negotiation. That is armory brandishing to let the Nigerian military know that we have sophisticated arms and ammunition, so you dare not come close to us. That's not a negotiation. That's not a negotiation. It feels terrible. It feels insane that a people will think they are going to negotiate with these people. That is why the bandits in Katsina region, most importantly, they are doing whatever it is that they want to do. They will negotiate with people in this community today. They will go to the next community and start attacking the community. This is what they do, is a merry-go-round. So there is nothing positive happening as far as the negotiation, and it is completely unacceptable to negotiate with these bloodthirsty demons. It's impossible. It's impossible, Chinaza.
Some people are saying that either the government of the day is being complicit or the military is being complicit with these happenings, with this attack, especially the last one we've seen in the last 1 week, the few ones we've seen in the last 1 week rather. What is your own thoughts? Are the military or the government of the day really being complicit? Well,
once you look at how these things are happening, let's go back to how the general was killed. He supplied locations of where he is, and before the military got to him, the people got to him. There is some high level of complicity in the Nigerian security. A high level of complicity in the Nigerian security, and something needs to be done about it. Because if we continue like this, then I don't know what Nigeria is going to be in the coming 365 days. If I tell you the government or the military are not complicit, I'm not going to generalize and say all, because we have brothers, siblings that are in the front line. I am personally a product of the Nigerian Army Education Corps, so I know what it means to be in the front line. So there are innocent soldiers in the front line, but there is something that is happening within the architecture of the Nigerian security that so many people do not know. So how can you, is not negotiating with terrorists, is that not another high level of complicity? How are you going to negotiate with the terrorists that you are looking for? Welcome to Nigeria, where a 10 million bounty was placed on Ado Alero, a terrible bandit, and then at the end of the day, he was in the place of the negotiation, giving his terms to the Nigerian government. This is somebody that has been on the run. As a matter of fact, his wife and mother was arrested in Saudi Arabia just because the Nigerian security forces wanted to get his attention. At the end of the day, we saw Ado Alero in the middle of military personnel and other people talking about negotiation. What kind of insensitivity is that? That's the highest level of complicity.
All right. It is well.
Yes, it's well.
To the ongoing Congress in Washington, Nina Shia has said that President Tinubu hasn't shown political will to direct military action. This is an American international human rights lawyer and international Christian religious freedom advocate.
Yeah.
But you will hear members of the APC or government of the day say that this is not a fight for the federal government alone. It's a fight for both the federal government, the state government, local government, and all of us as individuals. That is to say, when you see something, say something, because of course security is everybody's business. But then, what is your reaction to what the American lawyer Nina Shia has said about President Tinubu's not showing political will to tackle insecurity.
Yeah, she was very, very right. There is no political will. A country where 25 girls were abducted, a sophisticated brigadier general, a war commander was killed, and all we heard from the president is that the president was depressed. How can you be a leader of over 250 million people, and then you're going to be faced with problems like this, and then you're going to tell us that you are depressed? I am a psychologist. And what is depression? Depression is a mood disorder that is characterized by loss of, by severe sadness, emptiness, and a whole lot. So the president is depressed. So how can a depressed individual fix what we are going through in the country? And I will say it, if the president knows that he's going to be depressed, this was what he signed for, he can actually resign honorably and just be on the sidelines, because you cannot be depressed being the Grand Commander of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. No, even if you are depressed, it is not something for you to come out publicly and say. If the president is depressed, how about you and I that are just common citizens of the country? So
He was just depressed over the incident.
Come on, depressed over the incident? No, the incidents that happen requires action, not you coming out to say you're depressed. Emotion. It requires action. It requires you telling the serving army chiefs, the service chiefs, to go out there and hunt these people and get these girls back and hunt the individuals that killed the Brigadier General Uba. But you cannot come on Twitter and send a message and say you are depressed. Up till now, as Nigerians, we are still waiting for a presidential broadcast from our president to talk to us as his citizens, to let us know that he's doing his best. Till this moment, there is no presidential broadcast. There is nothing that has been done. So this boils back to the question of, does he really care about the Nigerian people? All we are seeing now is governors decamping. Other things that are happening seems to be much more important to the government of the day than the current situation that we are going through. So at the end of the day, the president is depressed. And if the president is depressed, I will just tell him, like it's a advice from a son to a father. I will tell him, you can actually seek for therapy, go to maybe Solar's Wave therapy, go and get therapy and make sure that you are well. Then you come back to continue your job as a president. But you cannot be a president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and you are going to be depressed. Even if you are depressed, you don't come out to the people and say you are depressed. That is a hit below the belt. And I will tell you for a fact that that particular statement demoralized Nigerians even further than giving us hope that something is going to be done. Till this moment, there is no presidential broadcast. There was nothing. Nina Shea was very, very right with her assertions.
But then, talking about the president's depression, you don't think that as a human, he ought to be depressed, even though more is expected from him. We're not going to handle the situation on ground with emotions, but rather actions. But then you think his depression is not justifiable.
Before you be a president of Nigeria, you have to be ready to marry depression. There is no president that is going to come and sit on that seat in Aso Rock and then you are not going to be ready for depression. Nigeria is a very big country, the most populated black nation. So you should know that these are the things that you're going to go through. So even if you are depressed, I'm not saying it's a crime or it's a sin for him to be depressed. But you cannot come out publicly and tell Nigerians that you are depressed. Which president have ever come out to say that he is depressed publicly? Only President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That's the only president that did that. You cannot say that. That's so demoralizing. It's even not just going to demoralize we, the citizens. It's going to demoralize the personnel on the field.
All right. A lot of all this is happening at a particular time where Nigeria has been designated as a country of particular concern.
Yeah.
And just in the space of a few weeks to this designation, so much has happened.
Yeah.
And that's of course the Congress is still ongoing in Washington. But then, how does this place Nigeria with Nigeria being designated as a country of particular concern and with all that has been happening in this same phase? How does this place Nigeria in the global space?
It places us in a very, very terrible light, and that is the truth. Because if a country as sophisticated as the United States of America is going to say that Nigeria has now become a country of particular concern, then you know is a problem. This is going to affect international trade, and also the CPC order it comes with some sanctions, because the United States are saying they've been giving the Nigerian government billions of dollars to put in and curb the insecurity, and then they are not seeing anything of it. So it's going to definitely put Nigeria in a very, very terrible place, and it doesn't even look good, because we have international partners. They are calling us and they are asking us, please, what is the problem with the country? Hope you guys are safe. Does that mean you cannot get visa to go to point A or point B? These are some of the things that placing us on a CPC is going to get. And talking about the whole reason why we were placed as a country of particular concern being the Christian genocide, we all know that this is a country that is being faced by a lot of terror, and a lot of people are victims of this. The 25 girls, the entire 25 girls are Muslim, and once you go to the church, the entire 38 people that were adopted and the ones are Christians. So now at the end of the day, terror knows no religion. Until everyone is safe, no one is safe. So automatically it's something that both religions are facing, and we have to come together as a collective to address this situation. Just like my friend Mohammed Faisal will always say, he will say, for this country to be fixed, it has to do with all of us. So it's a collective venture for us to make sure things are good.
All right. If you're to advise the government of the day on how we can manage, because the insecurity we see today is not just the job of the government. It includes the federal government, the state government, the local government, and of course all of us as an individual, because I always say security is everybody's business.
Yeah.
So how do you think, where should we start from, at least in tackling insecurity in our nation, Nigeria?
It starts from you and I. It starts from the community, and also it goes further to the state, the local government, and then the entire country. Just the federal government cannot tackle insecurity. Nigerians should know that. They cannot just all of them, because some of these bandits used to be occupants of those same communities that are agitated because of one thing or the other, and then they come back to the community and start attacking them. So you cannot go after these people without the help of the community. So it has to be a collective effort from the military, the Nigerian civilians, the communities, and other agencies to make sure that we safeguard our nation, because Nigeria is all we have. We cannot continue to be on the pedestal of losing people, losing loved ones. We have to do something about it to change the status quo, to make sure that you are part of securing the country. Go in and throw in your quota. If you see something, call up and say something. The Nigerian police and the military are dropping numbers every single day saying, if you see something, kindly call us and say something. The Nigerian military are trying, right? But the government needs to do better by supporting the military too, because sometimes it's not a soldier is trained to fight. So once you see them run, you know that there is a problem. The firepower is overwhelming.
Well, thank you so much for your time and your contribution this evening. It's indeed a pleasure having you around.
Thank
and
you,
our thoughts with the families of the affected. The challenge is clear: protecting citizens, securing communities, and of course restoring trust in our institutions. And to the President, with grave concern over recent attack and abduction across Kebbi, Niger, and Kwara states, communities are devastated. We urge your administration to take a decisive action, because one mandate you have given to these people is to protect their lives and properties. And that's the only thing Nigerians seek from this administration and from your government. This is why we'll leave it this evening until we'll come your way some other time. Like my guest rightly says, security is everybody's business. When you see something, say something. It's not the duty of the federal government alone, neither is it the duty of the state government or even the local government. It's the duty of every Nigerian. You, and I. Until I come your way some other time, do stay safe and have yourself a great weekend.